What's up, everybody? It is officially time. Where we at? Where we at? Come on in. Come on in, everybody. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Where is everybody at today? Who's in the house today? Let me see. Let me see. Who's in the house today? Welcome, welcome, everybody. Appreciate you tapping in. Come on in. So today's a special one today, y'all. And what makes today so special is because I want everyone to understand that this channel just isn't about giving you my perspective as far as the charts, right? So I originally created this channel with the vision in mind to educate folks, right? And this channel is only a few weeks old. And for those who have been tapping in with me since the beginning, right, we're all going to grow together. So you are going to witness each week how this channel grows. And I appreciate each and every one of you for tapping in with me on this journey. Okay? All right, so give about another minute or two, and then we're going to get started. So who we got in the house today? If you are feeling amazing, you already know. Let me get some ones in the chat. If you are feeling amazing today, let me get some ones in the chat. What's up, Silent? What's up, Jordan? Good, good. Love the fact that you guys are feeling amazing. How you making out, Silent? Let me know how you making out after that session we had. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let a few more people come in, and then we're going to get started. You took some? Okay. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You keep taking those gains. Keep taking those gains. Oh, you took some L's. Well, that's part of the process too. That's part of the process. But don't worry. Don't worry at all. Don't worry at all. It's part of the process. Just continue taking those lessons out of those L's. That's it right. That right there is the most important part. And believe it or not, I take them too. Right? Right now I'm in the CoreWeave call. And as you can see what's going on with CoreWeave on the screen, it is down almost 1.5%. Right? I've been holding this since what's today? Today is Thursday. I think I got into it yesterday. Now I did play it to the downside when it did go down yesterday, but nonetheless, I anticipated it actually moving up today, which it actually did. But then, I'm sorry, overnight, which it actually did, it moved up after close and during pre-market. But guess what happened during pre-market, right? We got this right here. We got this right here. Where is it? I was looking at it earlier. Here we go, right here. Right? This is what's impacting CoreWeave today. Right? The D.A. Davidson analysis, Gil Loria reaffirmed that an underperform rating and raised red flags over the company's leverage financial model and residual asset risks. This is heavy negative news, which is having an impact on the price movement of CoreWeave, right? And again, this is why I'm always saying you have to make sure you are paying attention to what's happening outside in order to make those decisions inside. Now, of course, I consider myself at fault because I actually did not look at this information. Had I looked at this information prior to the market opening, then I wouldn't be able to take advantage of the downside, right? But I got caught up in working on some things in regards to the channel. But it's fine because I have to play out to next Friday, so I got some time on it. So I do have some time to recover. Unfortunately, it has already surpassed my normal level of area I would like to get out. But like I said, I got time on it, right? And that's the greatest asset you can have when playing in the market, and that is time, right? So I have made the decision to hold it, right? Because folks believe in CoreWeave, right? We've seen this huge run up since February, probably one of the fastest price movements I've seen in a long time, right? So, to date, this thing is up. Let me see. Year to date, this thing is up 268%, right? So, and it has way more, much more room to grow. All right, so I'm gonna definitely continue to hold this position until sometime next week. All right. What's up, Lisa? Appreciate you tapping in. Definitely appreciate you tapping in. All right, so we are going to get started, right? As I was saying earlier, each week I am going to improve on this channel, right? When I originally started this channel, my vision was to educate the people, right? And that's what I am going to continue to do. I don't want this channel to be looked at as just the type of channel where you come on and you just simply watch me show you guys opportunities. Now, of course, the overall goal is to show you opportunities, but what I mean by that is to simply showing you me plotting different levels as far as how I would play specific tickers. Right now, that is part of the process, absolutely, right? Because I do want you guys to see the type of positions I like to get into, but I also want to educate you guys on other tickers and other companies out there, right? Because it's a whole new world of different types of companies that are IPO, that are setting up new IPOs, older companies that are acquiring more companies and startups and so on and so forth. So I just want to make sure that I stay on target with my mission for this channel. All right. So, so I have created a list of what I have considered hot stocks, right? So the hot stocks I will be talking about today are the following. It's going to be Joby. It is going to be ACHR, and another one is going to be SMR, and the final one is going to be LEU. Right now, I chose these stocks specifically because of the new order that the administration has signed effective yesterday. Right? Yesterday was the 11th, right? Yes, yesterday was the 11th, right? So President Trump signs executive orders on drones, flying cars, and supersonics, right? All right, so first we are going to look at Joby, right? So that is J, ticker JOBY, right? All right, so this company is in the electronic and technology, aerospace and defense sector, okay? Excuse me. And this order is indeed going to speak to those type of companies, right? So it's just really a matter of time when the price is going to catch up to what is actually happening in the economy as more and more information becomes available to retail investors and so on and so forth, right? Because at the end of the day, and this is why I keep saying, you got to understand what's happening outside to understand the type of moves you need to make inside, right? I remember seeing this ticker in the past. I don't know how far in the past I saw this ticker before, but I do remember seeing this ticker in the past. Okay. All right. So let's quickly, we're going to talk about what Joby is. Okay. So, excuse me. So Joby is an aviation company, right? It engages in developing an all-electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that intends to operate as a commercial passenger aircraft. Right? This company was founded in 2009 and is headquartered in Santa Cruz, California. All right. The 52-week high is $10.72. 52-week low, $4.66. All right. It opened up today at $9.43. Right, and as you can see, the current price is at $9.11. All right, so down just under 6%. Right, and I'm going to go deeper into this company, right? But again, the reason why I looked at this one specifically, because it is one of the tickers that is going to be impacted by the new executive order that was signed yesterday. All right. Now, I did go to the White House website to see if I can find out more details about this specific executive order, but it hasn't posted yet. So right now, the only information available seems to be just an overall summary of what these executive orders are going to unlock, right? So I'm just going to read to you real quick some of the information, right? So the executive order also created a pilot program testing flying cars, also known as electric vertical takeoff and landing, right? What did we just talk about with Joby, right? That's one of the things that we just talked about as far as the description of what the company does, right? It seems to specialize in the EVTOL, which is electric vertical takeoff and landing, right? So also EMS, air taxis, cargo, and defense logistics, right? So additionally, these orders address the growing threat from criminal terrorists and foreign misuse of drones inside the U.S. airspace. So this administration is securing our borders against aerial threats by cracking down on unlawful drone activity and prioritizing real-time detection and identification of drones to safeguard national security. All right, so that is, in a nutshell, what these executive orders will be targeting. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to go a little bit more detail in regards to these specific tickers that we talk about, right? So again, the first one that we're going to talk about is Joby. The ticker is JOBY, right? So now let's dig a little bit deeper, right? Looking at the average volume over 30 days, we have 21.95 million, right? Just today alone, 14.61 million shares have moved through the market, right? This is just shares alone, okay? 14.61 million shares have moved through the market. Now, this doesn't account for option plays. Now, if someone decides to exercise the option, then that would move this number in an upward direction, okay? But this right here, this is how many shares have moved through the market today, all right? So now, when do they have earnings? Their next earnings is in 56 days, which brings us to, August 7th, okay? Now, let's look a little bit deeper, right? I like to look at the seasonalities, okay? So back in 2023, it seems that this company had the majority of the upward momentum in July, June, going into July, right? Where are we now? We're in June, going into July, right? But that was in 2023. Now, in 2024, it did get a little spike up, but it's not as significant as in 2023, right? Now, with us being under a new administration and with this executive order now being signed, I'm sure this will continue that momentum for the months to come, all right? Now, what I also found interesting about this specific company is their, hold on a second, let me go back to it, is their profitability, right? That's one of the things I like to look at when I'm looking at companies, right? Their profit margin. And right now, they're running on a lot of debt, right? So that's the part that really is, really has me a little hesitant, right? I like to invest in companies that their profit margin is at least above, 10%, 20%, right? Because then it only makes sense. But nonetheless, if this company has been running around and has been operating since 2009, well, they must be doing something right? Let's see what their market cap is. Their current market cap is 8.10 billion. All right. So again, they're doing something, right? Their profit margin is flat. So for every dollar that they make is exactly every dollar that they earn. It is they're I can't even explain to you how they're even surviving. But again, they're doing something right. All right. So let's see what analysts are saying about this company. All right, let's see. All right, so analysts have it at a price target of $13, right? A max of $13 within a year. All right, now that's as of today, right? 8 analysts are offering a 1-year forecast for Joby Aviation at a max estimate of $13 and a min of $4, right? Now let's see what the technicals are suggesting, right? Technical analysis, it's a buy, right? That's a good thing, right? That's what we want to see. We want to see that this makes sense, right? But again, for me, based on the financial aspect of it, I like to look at the profit margin. I want to make sure that this company is profitable. All right. But it is something I will continue to monitor as I start to find out more information about this executive order. All right. Now let's look at some price points. All right. Let's go back to the chart. Oh, also, one more thing I wanted to show you. All right, yeah, so the technicals say it's a buy. The analyst rating saying that it's neutral, right? We went over the seasonalities already, okay? But now as far as price points, right? I'm going to look at the daily. We have the top of support right here at 863, the bottom of resistance around 965, right? In order for it to move higher, it is going to have to break out 937, but if it falls below 894, then we are going to see some more downward momentum, right? We already see it coming down almost 7%, right? Let's see if we can target Y. Here we go. We have a downgrade, right? From overweight to neutral with a new price target set at $9, leading to a 4% decline in the shares, okay? But nonetheless, this is indeed on my watch list for the sake of the new executive order, all right? So again, that ticker is JOBY, okay? Now, my next ticker is ACHR. All right, we have Archer Aviation. All right, ACHR. No, that's not it. Type the wrong thing. There we go. All right, another one that is down almost 3%. Right. Let's see why we're moving down. All right, at the Paris Air Show in 2025, Archer Aviation CEO highlighted the importance of supportive environment for scalable production and market strategies. Yada yada yada. Let's see. Yesterday, Trump orders lifts Archer Aviation stock. Okay. I completely misunderstood that as I read it. But you guys got that, right? So again, it's in regards to the executive order, right? All right, so let's look at what's happening in 56 days, right? We have earnings August 7th, the same date as Joby, all right? The average volume is 34.86 million. Today's volume, 12.27. Not bad, right? Not bad. Just under half, right? Seasonality, right? Back in 2023, seems like 2023 was the year for the aviation companies to make a lot of moves, starting in June, right? Moving into July, all the way up to just before September, it seems Archer is definitely looks like a good play, right? Technicals, it's a strong buy, all right? Analyst ratings, it's a buy, okay? Now let's look a little bit deeper. Let's look at the forecast. The price target of 1233, right? They're not too far from that price target, right? You have 9 analysts giving it a year for it to hit $18, right? $18, y'all, with a minimum of $4.50. All right? It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right? Let's have a look at their 52-week high. Hold on, I keep typing ACHE. So their 52-week high is $13.92. Their 52-week low is $2.82. Today they opened up at $12.41 with a low of $11.71. Right, so they are just above today's low, right? Which is a good thing, because what that typically means is that they're starting to turn around, right? Which is what you want, right? But here's a quick overview of what Archer Aviation is, right? So they engage in development of electric, again, EVTOL, right? Electric vertical takeoff and landing aircrafts, right? This company was founded in 2018 and is also in California, okay? All right, so let's look at some price targets. All right, so again, we're going to look at the daily. This is where I like to look, right? So right now it is consolidated, right? It's consolidated between 951 and 1254, okay? What I like about it, it is still sitting above the 10 EMA, which is this teal color line right here, right? But in order for it to break out of that consolidation, it's going to have to go above 1254, all right? Now, if it falls below 1175, then we're going to hit the top of support at 1139, okay? Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. I also wanted to look at the profit margin. Whoa. All right, so the market cap is 6.68 billion, and their profit margin is flat as well. Okay. As far as debt, they're 78.3 million in debt. Right? But again, their market cap is 6.68 billion. All right? So again, this is something to watch. Again, because of the fact that this new executive order, this is going to impact companies like this. All right? So we went over JOBY, and this one is ACHR, 2 companies that are in the aviation space that will be impacted by the executive orders, right? So now I wanted to see what other companies that are going to be impacted that are actually outside of the aviation space, right? And 2 companies that I found was SMR and Centrus, which is LEU. So next we're going to go over those 2, right? So first we're going to do SMR, right? Now, I remember looking at this one in the past as well. This is NuScale Power Corporation, okay? Currently sitting up just above 1% for the day. All right, let's look at the volume. The average volume in 30 days is 14.91, and it's at 9.82 as of right now. So let's look at what's going on with the news. All right. Uh, looks like it's being compared to OKLO. I know we talked about Oklo in the past as well, right? But nothing negative, right? Which is why we see it moving in upward direction. We have earnings in 55 days, which is going to put us in August, right? August 6th, just before Archer and Joby, right? Seasonality, again, 2024 seems to have been the year to be in companies like this, right? Just like in Joby and Archer, 2024 was the year to play in those specific tickers, right? So here we have it moving up in June into July, and then it comes back down in August, and then starts that tick up in early September, right? So this is definitely something to watch, something I will be watching into for the remainder of the year for sure, right? SMR. All right, so let's talk about what this company actually is into, right? So it provides proprietary and innovative advanced small modular reactors, right? Nuclear technology. So with a mission to help power the global energy transportation by developing safe, scalable, and reliable carbon-free energy. Its products include VOYGR, SMR plants, and energy exploration. Right? The company was founded in 2007 and is headquartered in Oregon. Okay? So today's high is 42.91. The low is 39.44. The 52-week high seems like it hit it today at 42.91. Its 52-week low is $6.88. Right? So year to date, this baby is up 126%. Alright, so I just got an alert on Archer, as you can see right there. So let's take a quick look at Archer. Alright, so it's coming down, which is going to represent a nice buying opportunity if I decide to move forward with getting into this company, right? But I am going to continue to watch it for the next couple of days to see if it actually comes down to that 1139 area, right? Because what I wanted to do is to simply reject at that point, and then I will look at that as an area of opportunity. Okay. All right, let's go back to SMR. All right, so SMR, their market cap is 5.55 billion, and their profit margin is actually negative. Whew. I will never understand the whole concept of how that works, but it is what it is, right? They know something that I don't, and it's clearly working for them. But it's negative 273.36%. Man, oh man. I don't know what's keeping the companies like this alive. I guess it's just innovation, right? But the technicals have it as a strong buy, and the analysts have it as a buy as well. All right, so let's dig a little deeper. All right, let's see what their analyst price targets are. All right, so their forecast. Well, it actually beat it already. Right? So it's already hit its high, which was today. So we know what that means, right? When something goes up, it must come down. Right? Once it comes down, then we already know what that is going to represent. A nice buying opportunity, right? Hold on real quick. Let me take a look at the chat real quick. Let's see. Let's see. What's up, John? Appreciate you tapping in. What's up, Lynn? You're welcome, Silent. Am I focusing on swing leaps? If you're asking in regards to any of these companies that I'm mentioning, these would be leaps, definite leaps for sure. What's up, Alika? Appreciate you tapping in. You should have kept your ACHR shares. Hey, listen, you never know, man. You never know. What's up, Uptown? Appreciate you tapping in. You never know. And again, this is why I'm constantly saying, right? You gotta make sure you're paying attention to what's happening outside in order to make those decisions inside, right? Very, very important. And then not only that, patience will pay you, right? We see that time and time again, right? And I consistently say this. Either you're going to pay for patience or patience will pay you, right? Extremely important, all right? So going back to NuScale, all right? How are you guys feeling so far? Amazing? Are you guys liking the information that I'm sharing with you? If you are liking this information, let me get some thumbs up, right? Let me get some thumbs ups in the chat if you are liking this information, right? As I said, I really want to start developing a more strategic channel versus when everybody shows up, they're just watching me talk about price points, right? I also want to educate you guys on the emerging companies that are investable, right? So that is what I'm going to be doing each Tuesday and Thursday, right? I will be giving you guys my hot topics. I'm sorry, hot stocks, okay? Cool, love it. Thank you guys for your feedback. Truly, truly love it, all right? So now going back to NuScale, right? As I mentioned, their profit margin is actually in the negative, right? But, you know, it is what it is, right? Because either way, we are not, at least me personally, I'm only looking to take the gains and go. That's it, right? That's all I want to do, okay? Now understanding, so NuScale as well as LEU, now even though they may not be in the aviation space, right, they do fall under the national security infrastructure, okay? So I do want to make sure I point that out because we do know this administration is huge on protecting the U.S., all right, at all costs. So with that said, looking at companies that are inside that security infrastructure, it just makes sense to me, okay? All right, so let's go back to, let's look at some price points for this baby. All right, so, and we're hitting more new highs today, right? So the more this goes up today, the more we understand that it is hitting new highs, right? And so when we look at how this ticker has been performing year to date, let's see. Year to date, it is up 130%. All right, so that's a good thing. So if you got into this position, if you got into NuScale Energy, NuScale Power Corp back in January, and you go to look at your gains today, you will be up 130-something%. And that's if you bought shares, right? Imagine if you bought options, right? I'm sure that would probably almost double, if not triple, right? All right, so we have resistance right here at 44.68, and we have support at 37.83, right? I'm almost certain at some point it is going to come down, right? Why? Because people are going to start taking gains, right? That's what happens when these companies hit these all-time highs. Folks start to take gains, which is going to allow the ticker to cool off and then allow more people to start positioning themselves to get back in, right? So I got it going to, at minimum, 44.68, and then it's going to come back down and it's going to come, I'm going to say anywhere around 349.42, and that resistance area of support area of 37.83. All right. But I definitely needed to come down at least to 37.83 before I start looking at areas of opportunity to get in. Okay. All right. So the final ticker we are going to look at is going to be LEU. All right. This is Centrus Energy Corp. Right. Currently priced at 158.50, so it's up 0.23% today. Okay. First, let's look at what's happening in the news. Okay. Nothing impressive. All right. Let's look at the volume. All right. We have earnings in 61 days, which is again in August. Right. They will be reporting on the Q2 data. All right. Let's look at the volume. Right. 341.67K shares have moved through the market today. Right. It's apparently it's apparent that folks are looking at this ticker today. Right. Their average volume is 1.24. Okay. That's milli. All right. 342.09 thousand shares, averaging on a monthly basis 1.24 million. Okay. And I'm sure this thing is only going to continue to move up. Right. So let's look at the 52-week high. First off, year to date, this bad boy is up 134%, almost 135%. So if you got into this at the beginning of January, you would be up, and this is in regards to shares again, you would be up 134%, right? That's amazing, right? Talking about a nice return on investment, right? That's a $90, almost a $91 move, right? So something is going on within this company, right? That's for sure. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with the administration or what, but you ain't heard that from me, all right? All right, so Centrus Energy Corp engages in the supply of nuclear fuel and services for the nuclear power industry, all right? It operates with low enriched uranium, right? We all understand how this administration feels about uranium, right? I just want to make sure we understand that, right? So this is definitely probably one of the reasons why it's up 134% year to date, okay? So the segment includes various components of nuclear fuel to utilities from its global network of suppliers. The technical solutions segment offers advanced engineering, design, and manufacturing services to government and private sector customers. Come on, y'all. You heard what I said. The government, right? Look at that. Need I even say more? All right. So this company was founded in 1992, right? So it has some history, right? Let's see. Just imagine if you would have invested in this 5 years ago, you will be up 1,200%, right? Again, this is what I'm talking about when I say that patience pays, all right? Extremely important, all right? Patience will pay you, okay? All right, so they have earnings in 61 days, right? That will be August 12th. I think that's what I just saw. Yeah, August 12th. All right, seasonality, right? Look at that. Look at that. 2025 seems to be their best year, right? Let's look at their all-time high. Their all-time high, their 52-week high is 165, right? And right now we're sitting at 158, right? So it's cooling off right now. Right now it's cooling off, right? It rejected at 164.12, right? We got support right at 149.01. In order for us to fall some more, we need to break 153 to the downside. If we're going to move up some more, we got 159.95, right? Again, these are the tickers that are on my list of potential opportunities in the near future. But this one specifically, it is going to have to cool off a little bit more for me to even think about stepping in the door. All right. Last but not least, let's have a look at their LEU. Let's have a look at their numbers. All right. 2.69 billion. All right. Now this is what I'm talking about. Profit margin is at 22%, almost 23%. Man, the light bulb just went off, y'all. The light bulb just went off, right? Now this one is probably based out of the last three: the Archer, the Joby, as well as the SMR. This is the one I probably would say I like the most, right? Again, because I like to make sure that the company is profitable, right? And as we can see, 2025 seems to be its most successful movement, okay? So, just a quick recap, right? We have Joby and we have Archer, which is in the aviation space, right? And then we have SMR and LEU, which is in the national security infrastructure space. All right, I think it's technically it's like defense. Actually, neither. It's actually non-energy minerals, right? So metals and minerals, right? Let's look and see what analysts are saying. All right, we got 3. Listen here, 300 in a year. I can see it. I can definitely see that. Man, I think this baby just moved up a few notches on my watch list for sure. All right. So here we have it. My 4 hot stocks for Thursday, January 12th. Okay. 4 hot stocks. Joby, that's Joby. Archer. Actually, let's go to the actual, because I want to make sure. I just don't want you to know it just by the ticker. I also want you to understand the company's name too, right? So we have Joby, right, which is Joby Aviation. Then we have Archer. It's ACHR, right? All right, we have Archer Aviation, okay? And then we have SMR, which is NuScale Power Corporation. And then we have LEU, which is Centrus Energy Corp, right? Keep coming down so I can get in. That is for sure, all right? All right, so those are my 4 hot stocks that I currently have on my watch list that I am looking to invest in the future once they hit my price targets, okay? All right, so now let's get into what you guys want to talk about, all right? Now, I know I took up a lot of time today, again, because it's my first day giving you guys new information, right? So as I start to give this more information more and more, then I will not be taking up so much time. But I really want you guys to see what I'm looking at in regards to when it comes to specific stocks, all right? So that's what I wanted to just give you guys in general. And there's some other things that I look at too that I'm not going to really get more in detailed about that. But, you know, those are just some general things that I look at that help influence my decision when it comes to investing in these companies, okay? And again, as always, this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing with you the information that the tips and tricks that I use to play in today's market. All right. Whew, I know that was a lot. All right, so talk to me, guys and girls. What are you guys looking at today? All right. Tell me what you guys wanna have me look at real quick. All right. I will look at 3 stocks real quick. All right. So give me 3. All right. ANET. Okay. All right, so this Arista. Oh, I remember I played these guys in the past. Oh man, yeah, these guys are good. Let's see where they are year to date. Hold on for a second. Yeah, I remember these guys a few months ago, I think it was. Man, yeah, these guys have been cooking. Actually, year to date, they're actually down 13%, which is not bad because me personally, I like to get in at specific price points, especially if I'm going to buy shares when they reach a specific downside as in regards to percentage wise. So yeah, yeah. But like I said, I played these guys in the past, but it was just for the sake of options. It wasn't for the sake of shares. But all right. Anyways, so looking at Archer, right? It's gonna have to break that 97.41 before we start to see any type of good upward momentum moving to that bottom of resistance at 99.15. All right. Excuse me. Now the dope part is it is sitting above the 10 EMA, right? Which is what I always like to see. But if it decides to turn around, it's going to have to fall below that 921. Sorry, 94.21 in order for it to hit the top of support at 92.52. Okay. Excuse me. Let's look a little bit further out. All right. Let's look at the weekly. It is actually consolidated on the weekly. All right. Now the good thing about that is consolidated to the upside, but the part that scares me, it looks like it's rejecting, right? So it looks like we are going to get some downward momentum, all right? But looking at the position of the positioning of my EMAs, at this point it can go either way, right? So let's see what's happening in the news. Nothing specific that's impacting it. Let's see, where's the 2 hours? Let's look at this one. Stocks in this week article are. Let's see. All right, got China in the mix. Okay. So companies are reinvesting cash at a high rate of return. Okay. So ROE equals net income shareholders equity. Okay. Let's see what they're talking about for risk based cloud networking solutions, data centers. Okay. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, when I did an options play on this in the past, it was really for the sake of momentum. So I didn't dig deeper into the specifics of the company. But we're gonna see what analysts are saying about this thing. All right, saying it's a buy. Okay. Price 1 year price target is 109. We're not too far off. Not too far off at all. All right, seasonality. Let's see. Well, or if it continues to follow in the path of the past, we definitely got some upward momentum to go. So I like it. I definitely like it. But it needs to come down a little bit more for me. That's for sure. And looking at how it's set up on the weekly, breaking out to the downside is at 66.72, right? But we have that support at 85.95, all right? So I like it. But again, it just needs to cool off a little bit more in order for me to position myself for whether it be this isn't something I would day trade. When I did trade it, it was I think I held it for like a week or two, right? Because this is one of those tickers. It doesn't look like it moves quite often, right? So if you look at, let's see, week to date, it's only up almost 1.5%. All right. For the month, it's up 2.66. Right. So it took 30 days in order for it to move up $2.46. Right. So this one is a creeper, for sure. All right. But I like it. All right. What is this? These are leaps for January 2026. Are you asking me if I'm getting into leaps for 2026? I'm not sure how to pronounce your first name, so I'm going to say your last name, and forgive me if I mess up your last name. But is it Aminta Maynard? Are you asking me if the information I just went over is it for 2026 leaps? Or are you just referring to ANET? Let me know. But yeah, so that's my take on ANET. Ultimately, I just needed to come down a little bit more before I would start looking at it or investing in it. Okay, Alika? So I hope that helps. Okay. So what else, guys? Talk to me. We have some time. I'm gonna do 2 more. All right. So again, just to recap what we went over earlier, we went over 4 hot stocks that are on my watch list to invest in the near future. Right. So we went over Joby, Joby. We went over Archer, which was Archer Aviation. So that's ACHR. And then we went over SMR, which is NuScale. And then we went over, I believe it's called Centrus, which is LEU. Okay. And now, out of those 4, LEU really seems to be the one I may be getting into relatively soon. But again, it's just really only for the sake of just getting some of that upward momentum. And then I'm taking my gains and I'm going to go. It's that simple for me. All right. Come on, talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. Where we at? Where we at in the chat? All right, let me get some likes. Let me get some likes. Let me get some likes. Let's see how many people we have in here today. So right now we have 9 people, and I only got 5 likes. Come on, y'all. Can I get 9? 9 people in here with 5 likes. Come on, y'all. It is not going to harm you to hit that heart. All right. If you like the information I shared today, just show me the love by hitting the like button. Right. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Okay. I would really appreciate it. Right. I want this channel to grow, and not only that, I like the fact that not only do I want this channel to grow, the fact that you guys are in on this journey with me. I think that is extremely dope, right? I've never envisioned myself being having a YouTube channel, right? I've always looked at many different channels, and I'm subscribed to a handful of them, but actually being on YouTube, never saw it in my life. And for some reason, God has put me on this path, and here I am, right? Here I am, and I'm not looking back. All right. All right. So we got Nvidia. All right. So I'll look at Nvidia. All right. And if we don't have any other tickets you guys want me to look at after Nvidia, then I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. Right. There's one thing I like to be conscious of, and that is other folks' time. Right. Because I know it's a Thursday. I know most folks are at work. Right. So I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time, especially if you took the time out for your lunch to view this information. So I truly, truly appreciate that. Right. All right, so let's look at NVIDIA. All right, as you can already see, I've already been looking at NVIDIA. Whenever you start to see these lines, that is a clear indicator that I've been looking at NVIDIA. All right. All right, so what is happening with NVIDIA right now? Let's look at some news. All right. NVIDIA could gain from U.S.-China trade talks on lifting the H20 GPU export ban. That would be dope, and that is definitely beneficial, right? Because I do remember seeing something in the past that it would add a 10 billion revenue loss for NVIDIA if that ban really stuck, right? But as you can see, right, it will represent, if they lift the ban, it will represent a 5 billion annual. It will represent a recovery of 5 billion in annual revenue, right? So that's definitely a good thing, right? Let's see. So NVIDIA is launching Europe's first industrial AI cloud with 10,000 GPUs, including DGX B200 systems and RTX Pro servers. Okay, at a German AI factory to improve manufacturing processes. All right. So NVIDIA is in there. All right, NVIDIA is in there. That's for sure. All right, that is for sure. So if you are holding NVIDIA long term, listen. I know I have shares, and I don't plan on selling anytime soon. Right? I definitely took advantage of that stock split back in, I think it was 2024, maybe it was 2023. I really can't remember. But they were originally up to $1,200, and yeah, that whole what was it, 10 to 1? Yeah, I definitely took advantage of that for sure. No, was it 10 to 1 or was it 50 to 1? I really can't even remember. But nonetheless, again, I took advantage of it. All right, so let's talk some prices. So right now, NVIDIA is up 0.87%, right? Today's high, let's see. Let's see, today's high was so today's high was 145 flat, right? And the low was 140.46. The 52-week high is 153.13, and the 52-week low is 86.62. I remember vividly when it was at 86.62. I remember having a whole bunch of conversations with a bunch of different people in regards to NVIDIA when it was hitting that low. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So yes. So to answer your question, Aminta, yes, I will be looking at to position myself if I do take advantage of these opportunities for those stocks that I mentioned, the hot stocks. They will be going into 2026. That is correct. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, so going back to NVIDIA, all right, so to the upside, right, 144.95. It has to break that And then I have another level at 146.21. We got resistance here at 147.21, right? But to the downside, right, 141.97, right? And we got the 10 EMA sitting right here at 140.91. If it falls below that 10 EMA, guess where we're going, y'all? 139.76, right? But as you can see, I have a ton of price targets for NVIDIA, right? I remember having a conversation in a Discord that I'm in that I saw NVIDIA going all the way up to 153.65, and that was after the earnings. But then I think the administration was having more tariff talks or something happened, and it ended up suppressing the price, right? So there goes that idea. But nonetheless, we are currently 6 months into the year, right? And year to date, NVIDIA is only up 6%, right? Which is still a lot, right? So let's not discount the price movement. But nonetheless, this time last year, if you got into NVIDIA, you will be up, as far as shares, you will be up 17%, okay? So listen, a gain is a gain. I don't care if it's 1% or 100%. A gain is a gain, right? So let's not discount any of those gains. All right. Let's look at it from a weekly standpoint. All right. Again, all these price points already set, right? It's just a matter of those triggers going off, right? But again, my highest point I see NVIDIA going in the future. This doesn't mean the near future, right? And that's 153, excuse me, 65. All right. But if it starts to fall below, it is gonna, once it breaks that 141.97, it is going to 140.91 and then 139.76. Right. If those sellers keep piling up, we're gonna see 137.95. All right. All right, so the next and the last is Oklo. Okay, so Lisa, just looking, I sold one option, looking to get back in, and eventually cause long-term swing. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, hello. All right. Okay. So it looks like Oklo wants to come down a bit, right? Especially after they broke out of that consolidation. Now, again, as I always like to say, when it's sitting above that 10, I already like it, right? But it's almost right there at the bottom of resistance, right? It's called resistance for a reason, right? Because if it hits it, only two things are going to happen. It's either going to reject it or break it, right? Now, looking at the movement, right, we're going to have some strong bias in there to break that 71.75, right? We're currently sitting right below 68.68, right? It's going to have to break that 68.68 to even start walking to 71.75, right? But if it falls below 63.27, guess where we're going? 60.03, okay? So, me personally, I would wait until it comes back down just a little bit in order for me to start positioning myself in long term, right? Because when you look at, excuse me, when you look at where I'm just gonna say Oklo. I think that's what everybody refers to at this point, right? Its 52-week high is 68.91, right? So if it already hit that 52-week high, guess what has to happen? One goes up, what? Must come down, right? So I definitely do see it coming down to around 63.27, and if it breaks that, we got 60, almost 60 flat, right? Now, year to date, they are up 218%, right? So what that means is if you got into Oklo in January and today you would be looking at gains of just over 218%, right? With the majority of that movement starting in the beginning or the middle of May, right? That's amazing, right? That is an amazing run up from since May up until the beginning of June, right? Let's look at some seasonalities, right? 2025 seems to be their year, right? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay? Absolutely amazing. So this definitely is one to, from my perspective, this definitely is one to hold for a long time, right? Let's see what the analysts are saying, right? 75. They got this baby going to 75, right? As I said earlier, a few moments ago, 52-week high was 681.91. It's not too far off, right? It's only 6 months left of the year, so it ain't too far off, right? But again, it would have to come down just a little bit in order for me to position myself into OKLO, all right? Whew. I know that was a lot today, y'all, and I appreciate you guys sticking it out. Really, really do. Okay. So before we tap out, right? I just want to let you guys know I still have the mentorship that is going down June 23rd, from June 23rd up until June 27th. That is 5 full days with me breaking down how I play in this market, right? I am going in detail on how I decode the candles, on how I look at the patterns, on the time frames, on my entries and exits, options, the Greeks, and stop losses. And then not only that, I will be showing you guys how and the type of resources I look at that help influence my decisions, the decisions I make in this market on a day-to-day basis, right? Because there's one thing I'm constantly saying to everybody is that yesterday's market is not today's market, right? It is not today's market. You cannot wake up today and play the way you play and then wake up tomorrow, God willingly, and think you're going to play the same way, all right? You have to understand the psychology behind that, all right? Extremely, extremely important, all right? So if you would like to tap in, the link is in my bio, all right? Let's click the link in the bio and tap in with your boy, all right? Woo! Man, I like how today flowed. Today was dope. I really like connecting with you guys. I really appreciate you guys for sure. But all great things must come to an end, right? And so we have reached that point of today. And again, thank you guys. I truly do appreciate you guys for tapping in. If you thought today's, I don't know if you want to call it an episode or session, if you thought it was amazing, let me get some thumbs up. All right. Also, let me get some likes. And please tell your friends and family about the Market Heat channel. All right. I would like to get some more subscribers, to start really tapping into the algorithm so more people can see what Market Heat is about and how it can help, how it can impact them in the future. Because you never know, right? You never know. So please like, subscribe, and share. All right? Truly, truly appreciate that. Woo! All right. So that's it, everyone. Again, thank you for tapping in. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. And again, the mentorship is going down June 27th. 5 full days with yours truly, right? 2 hours a night, 5 full days, going over everything from A to Z on how I play in this market, right? Make sure you take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime during the lifetime of the opportunity. All right? So again, appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. So next Tuesday, same bad time, same bad channel, 11 o'clock. Until then, you guys have an amazing day and continue to take gains. All right? Peace.